entertainment purposes only. Shadow Wars, part I think 5 now we're on. You can go look at Bad vs Evil and the videos that say Order 66 and shit. And we're just continuing on this journey.
Said that cartels are now acting as police. It's not like martial law type situations. It's not like people with guns posted up in your neighborhoods. It's not like that. These people have went into hermit mode because a lot of them were receiving, and I'm talking about high up in these cartels, they have been receiving orders from government officials. And then they found out that these government officials were, well, they knew that they were crooked for, getting them to commit hits and sell drugs and just different things. So they knew that they were corrupt, but they didn't know that they were targeting people, innocent people, earth angels, chosen ones, starseeds, things of that sort, to for insurance money. They didn't know that. So they found out a lot of information that pissed them off. And contrary to everyone's belief, especially high up on the ladder, cartel people, they are very much so into the spiritual realm. They use rituals and everything for protection.
Flagged by the DEA. So now the real question is the one nobody in Mexico wants to say out loud. Is this Trump's ultimate plan to end the cartel operations in the US? And does Scheinbaum go down with it in flames?
And their protection is so strong, like they are connected to their ancestors, but a lot of them connect to their dark ancestors, and I want to say under control by, they also worship like the devil because they know that they live in darkness, but that's the trade-off. They want these luxurious lives, and that's why they're connected to the next thing that's connected to the devil in the most way, and that is the government, okay? We're the government of yesterday. Let me say that even though some of them are still sitting in the seats, things are changing. And this is what this message is about, because they are the troublemakers. They are the killers. So they did a ritual. They were trying to kill someone, and they couldn't do it. Everyone that they sent, and I'm talking about the cartel right now, the government officials and police officers and military, they already figured this out, except for they don't know the real spiritual meaning. But because high up in cartel, they dibble and dabble, and they're always in the spiritual realm for protection. Like, let me tell you, when they do their rituals and stuff, their protection, and not just the Mexicans, I'm talking about all cultures, high up on their ladders, Africans, all of them. The type of protection that they have from their dark ancestors and the devil is after they're done with their rituals, you can shoot at them. They shoot at them, their people that they have initiated in and gave this protection to, and they will not die. Like, the bullets do not hit them. They fall down. Do you understand?
It's spattered all over the ocean. Big bags of cocaine and fentanyl all over the place. And it was, plus we have recorded evidence that they were leaving. We know what time they were leaving, when they were leaving, what they had, and all of the other things that you'd like to have. But we have noticed that there are no ships in the ocean anymore. We're seeing that there's like no ships, when the first one we went, there were hundreds of boats. Now there are no boats. I wonder why, meaning no drugs are coming across, probably stopping some fishermen too. This was a boat, and we were surprised to see it. Now, what does that mean? That means there's no drugs coming by sea, but they do come by land. And you know what? We're telling the cartels right now, we're going to be stopping them too. When they come by land, we're going to be stopping them the same way we stopped the boats. Spattered all over the ocean.
Reuters investigation reportedly found the government has revoked the visas of more than 50 Mexican officials and their suspected political allies.
Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America.
More than 70 Mexican politicians had their U.S. visas revoked in the same week, and according to U.S. intelligence, several of them were linked to cartel financing networks that had already been under quiet investigation for months. The first name to crack the silence was Marina del Pilar, the sitting governor of Baja California. She admitted her visa was gone. Hours later, reporters confirmed that her husband, former Congressman Carlos Torres, was also flagged. Then a second name surfaced, and a third. And suddenly, the scale became impossible to hide, and Scheinbaum was losing by the second.
The Associated Press reporting that the Trump administration has imposed new restrictions. They were imposed on Saturday on flights from Mexico.
Inside Mexico City, the pressure hit the presidency almost immediately.
Will not die. Like, the bullets do not hit them. They fall down. Do you understand? Like, it's real. And if you are not familiar with any of this, you don't have to leave a comment. It's not for you. Don't worry about it, okay? Also, while I'm on this, I do see the comments. And I know that there's trolls and all of that. But if you're waiting for me to delete you and block you, that's not going to happen. Because my protection are looking up your addresses to see who you are. Okay? So that's why I leave those things up there. But anyway, so there was a killing of a healthcare man. He was something in the healthcare. He was like high up on the ladder, corporate ladder, and he was doing something with healthcare.
Visas began circulating before Claudia Scheinbaum's team had even received formal notice. By the time journalists confronted her administration, more names were already surfacing. And you won't believe this, but several officials only found out they were banned when they tried to board a flight and were stopped at the gate. No press release, no public list, just a silent purge. And if you think that was the extent of it, it wasn't. The U.S. hadn't even revealed why these 70 politicians were flagged or what evidence they were holding. That part came next.
Esto es un ultraje. Somos diplomáticos.
The order to target more than 70 Mexican politicians was signed the same week the intelligence review reached Washington. Donald Trump had the names. The
corporate ladder, and he was doing something with healthcare, and another guy just walked up to him and killed him. Spirit was saying that that is the beginning of an epidemic, and this is how they're taking corruption out.
Right now, police are combing through more evidence linked to the man suspected of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Police have found a 3-page letter Luigi Mangione allegedly wrote to investigators saying, quote, "I state plainly I wasn't working with anyone. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming." 2 law enforcement sources told NBC News there was also a notebook with writings discussing how the suspect chose to use a handgun outside the hotel. Police say shell casings from the attack matched the ghost gun found inside Mangione's backpack. Right now, he is fighting extradition to New York.
Financial trails and the connections flagged in cartel financing cases tied to Baja California, Sonora, Tamaulipas, and Mexico City. Marina del Pilar and Carlos Torres were the first names on this document.
The governor of Baja California, Mexico, was one official who spoke out in May saying her visa had been revoked and denying any links to cartels.
They were already in the target because investigators had already found many of their political circles to ongoing inquiries on cross-border money transfers. Other names.
This is how they're taking corruption out. Period. So you have people who are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and younger, but I'm just saying because we get we feel a certain type of way when we see a 70, 80, 90-year-old, things like that get attacked. But Spirit is saying that you're about to see a lot of this because they're not entering into eternal life. So humanity is changing.
Showed similar patterns. We're talking contacts with middlemen who were already under surveillance, unexplained travel clusters, and meetings logged during known cartel operations.
Actually, I don't think they're doing enough. The reason I say that is just last week, one of the deputies for the ruling Morena party actually came out and stated that 70% of the country in Mexico is actually governed, not controlled by territory, but governed by the Mexican cartels.
Once the briefing ended, Trump picked up the pace, finally doing what Mexican institutions refused to touch for years. Visa databases were updated, flagged, and synced across Homeland Security and border pre-clearance systems. By the next morning, visa cancellations were live, and more than 70 politicians on the list were already locked out of U.S. entry. Now, the crazy part wasn't the speed. It was how many supposedly untouchable Morena figures were suddenly exposed. Officials involved say the list pulled names from multiple regions and multiple parties. But something else was catching Trump's eye. The highest concentration of flags was inside Morena's northern blocks. That raised eyebrows inside Washington about political shielding and whether cartel-financed networks were operating with political protection.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum on Tuesday asserted the American government has told her simply it's a private matter. Clayton says, regardless of reason, the visa revocation of a high-ranking Mexican official signals a new day of immigration enforcement under President Donald Trump.
As the records were being updated, investigators continued tracking shell accounts tied to campaign contractors, cash-based donations routed through middlemen, and deposits moving through businesses already flagged by the DEA. So now, the real question is the one nobody in Mexico wants to say out loud. Is this Trump's ultimate plan to end the cartel operations in the U.S.? And does Sheinbaum go down with it in flames?
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
So humanity is changing. Either you're going to get death or you're going to evolve into eternal life. You're also seeing a lot of people look a lot younger than their age. Well, you can get used to that. 60-year-olds, 70, 80-year-olds looking like they're 40 and 30 and things like that because people are going to stop aging. That's what's happening. This is the eternal life. This is God giving you back the years that the locusts have eaten up. This is all of that. It's all in one. I'm not going to get too deep into that. We're going to go back to the cartel. But this is what this is for. This is like a cleanup sweep. But except for the cartels are acting as police officers because they can't trust Spirit and God. It has been proven that the police officers and things like that, not saying every one of them, we're talking in general, they could not be trusted. The politicians could not be trusted. The courts could not be trusted. So this is judgment for them. And this is what came out in the read last night, judgment. And that the cartels are acting as the police. But the thing is, when they could not kill a specific person, the cartel, everybody that they sent, they just couldn't do it. And these are, cold-blooded killers. So they did a ritual to see what was going on. This is when they started doing the investigation on it. And when in their ritual, their entity that they're serving blew up smoke. It was smoke. It wasn't, how you have visions, you might see a whole situation like in your mind's eye. It wasn't any of that. They were seeing it in the physical realm, but it was smoke They were seeing it through smoke, like the people, everything was smoke. And this could be you, but they seeing you as smoke. So what happened is,
there is no dark side, nor a light side. There is only the Force. I will do what I must to keep the balance. The balance is what keeps me together. There is no good without evil, but evil must not be allowed to flourish. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall set me free. There is no peace. There is anger. There is no fear. There is power.
This is gonna be fun. I think my setup kind of says,
You want to run a gun, man? Stay in patrol, okay? This is investigations, all right? Let the garbage men handle the garbage. We're professional anglers, okay? We go after the big fish. Chasing them monkey strong, crackhead motherfuckers anyway. You know they'd have killed you without hesitating.
That's why they belong in prison.
For what?
Now, as you guys already know, the Trump administration didn't make any grand announcements on this matter. In fact, politicians were left confused at airports when they couldn't board their planes. Marina del Pilar and Carlos Torres may have been the first identified, but they weren't the only ones. Within hours, reporters in Baja California, Sonora, and Tamaulipas were hearing the same story from multiple offices. Senior officials couldn't enter the United States anymore.
What? They got beat down, they lost their rock, they lost their money. The messages from Hillside probably gonna smoke them. I mean, Jesus, what more you want?
I want justice, right?
Is that not justice?
That's street justice.
What's wrong with street justice?
Oh, just let the animals wipe themselves out, right?
God willing. Fuck them. Everybody who looks like them. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. The good guys, they die first, right? Those school kids and moms, family men, they don't want to catch the stray bullets in the noodle. To protect the sheep, you gotta catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf, you understand?
and this could be you, but they seen you as smoke. So what happened is the smoke came up and their entity showed them people throwing the strongest people, period, in the spiritual realm, throwing black magic, all kind of magic, necromancy, everything at this person. And it was like something, a divider there, because everything failed. Nothing was able to hit this person.
It's done.
What are you saying? You just said it was done. What does that mean?
Your energy is decreasing with every blow. You're not even a challenge to me anymore. It wouldn't be fair for me to keep fighting you. I'm satisfied now. Your pride has been torn to shreds. You've challenged and lost to a fighter who is superior to you. And to make it worse, he was just a monkey, right?
Hit this person, nothing at all. And so they were saying, and they understand this kind of thing because this is the initiation. They take it as like when they bring someone in, especially when they go like higher up on the ranks, when they bring people in and they go through the ritual and they do their protection ritual, because their trade-off for serving the devil is protection in this way. So when they do that and that person end up dying like with the gunshots, then they know that that person cannot be protected. That person is not of their lineage, their bloodline, you know, the ancestors are not with that person, something like that. But that rarely happens if you make it up the ranks like that. When they get done with their protection rituals and they stand back and they shoot these people, the bullets just fall flat down. So when they were looking at, when they did their ritual on this person to see what type of protection this person had, who is this? The smoke spirit showed them. And then spirit appeared to them. I'm not talking about their entity, the devil. I'm talking about spirit, baby. Spirit showed himself to them and told them, So now that this person is protected and what they are to do and what they cannot do anymore. So now the cartel, and they're still going on with life as usual business, like their everyday businesses, but they're not taking any contracts anymore for Earth Angels, chosen people, period. They're not doing that anymore because they were so shocked that the governmental systems and the court systems and the police officers, the justice system, I guess, whatever, these people were predators. And you have cartels who were shocked that these institutions are predators towards the innocent. And they were killing innocent people and putting insurance policies on their head, but to steal their inheritance and things like that. And then they would set up a whole plot to have these people killed. And they found out that they were some of these people who were accepting these hits. They were killing innocent people, and then they ran across you, and they couldn't touch you. So then they had to go to their dark ancestors, which are the ones that they are connected to, and the devil. And then the devil couldn't do anything, so spirit came. Because spirit gave them instructions. So now these cartels will be acting as the police, judges, I don't care who you are, whatever job you have, whatever title you have. If you are guilty of murder, if you are guilty of taking people out for insurance money, for their inheritance and things of that sort, it's judgment time for you.
I have brought peace, freedom. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
And none of them had been given a reason. Then the scale widened. A sitting mayor in Nogales quietly told local journalists his visa expired early. A municipal leader in Matamoros stopped all U.S. travel without explanation. A federal deputy in Rosarito had her assets frozen after the Treasury Department linked her to Sinaloa-controlled networks. And behind those names were dozens more. Politicians who refused to confirm their status publicly, but whose sudden silence spoke louder than any statement. What tied these people together wasn't their positions, it was the pattern. In several instances, U.S. teams traced financial activity during the exact periods of cartel operations. We're talking
We fucking got him.
About the days when seizures occurred, shipments were moved, or money was washed through border towns.
The Trump administration planning a new mission to target drug cartels in Mexico. This is all according to 4 current and former U.S. officials familiar with that effort. The operation would include American troops and intelligence officers on the ground, striking drug labs and cartel leaders south of the border.
Some of those transactions matched travel records of the very politicians who were now locked out of the United States.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
I can speak for the president in saying we are continually pushing Mexico to do more to tackle the drug trafficking and the drug cartels within their country, and we are working with them in any way that we can. And the president has obviously used the full range of executive options in his authorities to crack down on drug trafficking at our southern border.
And then came the turning point. U.S. agencies started cross-checking these political networks against ongoing cartel logistics operations. For the first time, the investigations into drug routes and the investigations into political financing were running on the same track.
It has begun! Has begun! Has begun! Has begun! Has begun! Has begun! Has begun!
That's when it was the first wave. But is this the wave that knocks Scheinbaum over, or is she strong enough to stand up against Trump?
African Americans built this nation. You built this thing. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it.
Now, the thing about this entire affair was that Scheinbaum was unaware until reporters were at her throat for answers. Reports of visa cancellations were already circulating on national networks, and several governors were contacting the presidency directly. By the time Scheinbaum stepped into her morning press conference, she looked like a leader losing control of her own government. Federal deputies, regional operators, and senior party figures were suddenly asking for guidance on how to respond, and none of them had been given formal notice from the U.S. government.
Ranking Mexican official here at the border has had her tourist visa to the U.S. suddenly revoked.
The governor of Baja California says she's done nothing wrong, and the State Department has not responded to questions on why.
Scheinbaum tried to hide behind the excuse of no official information, a line that convinced absolutely no one. She stated that Mexico would request clarification, but at that moment, her administration didn't have the names, the reasons, or the scale. What she did right after was protect the trade. She said Trump had agreed to extend the trade deadline by another 90 days, while Washington worked on some key details.
Trump is now boasting that Mexico's president has agreed to stop migration through her country and close the Mexican border.
As more names emerged, Scheinbaum publicly defended key figures, most notably Governor Marina del Pilar. She reaffirmed her confidence in Avala's administration and framed the situation as a matter of due process. If you focus on her words, she was avoiding the possibility of being banned herself. Then she was asked about Trump's recent comments suggesting the U.S. should take direct action inside Mexico. She repeated the same message she delivered days earlier. Mexico would never accept foreign military intervention. It's not going to happen. And the Trump administration wasted no time calling her out as their little pet.
As for Claudia Sheinbaum and the president's relationship with her, I think he has a lot of respect for her as president of Mexico, and he also really appreciates the coordination that she has provided to the Trump administration.
But the political tension didn't wait for clarification. To them, it sounded like she was unprepared to lead the country. And as you guys probably know, political pressure in Mexico doesn't stay contained. Local media began drawing attention to previous allegations involving some of the affected officials, creating a wider crisis inside the administration. But behind the cameras, the political damage was already spiraling, and now the question hanging over her administration is clear. How long can Scheinbaum hold her coalition together before the next round of names forces a political break? Inside
Harvey Dent never made it home.
Of course not.
What have you done with him?
Me? I was right here. Who did you leave him with? Your people? Assuming, of course, that they are still your people and not Maroni's. Does it depress you, Commissioner, to know just how alone you really are? Does it make you feel responsible for Harvey Dent's current predicament?
Where is he?
What's the time?
What difference does that make?
Well, depending on the time, he may be in one spot or several. The good cop, bad cop routine?
Not exactly.
5 people die. You can't feel the next. See?
You wanted me. Here I am.
I wanted to see what you'd do. And you didn't disappoint. You let 5 people die. Then you let Dent take your place. Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
Where's Dent?
Those mob fools want you gone so they can get back to the way things were. But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've changed things. Forever.
Then why do you want to kill me?
I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No. You complete me.
You're garbage. Who kills for money?
Don't talk like one of them. You're not. Even if you'd like to be. To them, you're just a freak. Like me. They need you right now. When they don't, they'll cast you out. Like a leper. You see, their morals, their code. It's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
What?
I'm gonna need your weapon. All their little worlds. You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, I just do things. The mob has plans. The cops have plans. Gordon's got plans. You know, they're schemers. Schemers trying to control their little worlds. I'm not a schemer. I try to show the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are. So, when I say, come here, when I say that you and your girlfriend was nothing personal, you know that I'm telling the truth.
With one lie, one guy could break one tie. But like Miyagi, I'll prune your ass like a bonsai. I'm an angel, so one cry will leave a nigga dumb high. Sound the war drums. You believe in a pantheon. I relieve and receive my power from one guy. This pun pie, mathematics. The slit experiment. You can't see this atom. You're gonna need more than one try. I tell you bums, you scum, bye. Some straight, but your faith by. Some give up, but some try. The Lord's genius got me tree stumped. I'm still trying to figure out how the sun flies. Easy, little niggas.
You were a schemer. You had plans. And look where that got you. Because of your liabilities, you're looking stupid with the I told you look face.
You gonna need spiritual insulin for this diabetes. I'm able to break you sugar canes. And you not MJ cause you tried your Wheaties. When my Lord tries you TDs, Jake's moonwalk backslide. I hope you die in feces. This is it, no Mike Jack. You tried to hide my species. This is a higher TP. You snakes told them fibs. And the real Adam always know his Eve is more than his ribs. Easy. The devils taught you kill, steal, and destroy. And the Lord taught me to feel, heal, and deploy. A love that's real still and deep, boy. This thug's will a mill. You only got the skills to decoy. Man of Steel versus Clark Kent. You weak, boy. There's strength in numbers. We, the Magic 3. I represent the one like Neil, but you can call us Trinity.
God damn.
Fuck your Matrix and your cheap toys. This organic. I am the original deep toy. Your deals is dough. And I'm just a master waiting. You Han Solo. Just another masturbation. But when this master's baiting, I'm crafting cravens. You baby lions
get a tower. I got the power of disasteration. Easy.
All love and all praise to the Most High.
In their own hands. I just did what I do best. I took your little plan and I turned it on itself. Look what I did to this city with a few drums of gas and a couple of bullets. You know what I noticed? Nobody panics when things go according to plan. Even if the plan is horrifying. If tomorrow I tell the press that, like, a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers will be blowing up, nobody panics. Because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little old mare will die, well, then everyone loses their minds. Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos.
I'm about to Queen Latifah this shit and set it off. You're just another Scarface. I'm Thanos, cause I'm a better boss. And if you disrespect my lord, I hope you could pay the weather cost. Sodom and Gomorrah, you niggas.